Well, I'm going to tell you. The sun of righteousness rises with healing in its wings. Family is so beautiful. And people wonder why. Well, I'm going to tell them like this. We work together. The sun of righteousness rises with healing in its wings. Family is so beautiful. And people wonder why. Well, I'm going to tell them like this. We work together.
Well, bet y'all, we about to get started. I'm getting it set up right now. We about to have the brothers Rod Hayes, Young Elder, and the brother Love in the building. Just get them brothers a minute to get in the building. Rod Hayes, what's up, brother? What's up, Rod?
Can you hear me good?
Yeah, I can hear you now. I'm just waiting on the other brothers to go ahead and get in the building. I just spoke with Young Elder and the brother Love, so just get him a couple minutes. How you been?
I've been pretty smooth, man. Pretty smooth.
That's good, man.
Yeah. So, what's the topic today?
Brother Love said that he was gonna handle all that.
Okay.
So I'm just waiting on him and
Well, you see, while we waiting, you see they put the shoot to kill on site for the Kazarian Mafia, right? You dirty Moors.
No, I didn't see that.
I seen y'all the file. I posted it yesterday on my Instagram, but I seen the file for it.
So
yeah. That means that this shit is in effect over. So we ought to be seeing Baba soon. Between me and you. I'm talking about this shit in the next 60 days type shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, looking at the way everything playing out.
Got the brother Young Elder in the building.
Young Elder in the house.
And we got brother Love in the building.
Somebody say, get them niggas, young elder.
Hey, get them niggas, Rod. Hey, man. Hey, I'm telling you, look, I got some new shit I'm about to put out. Go ahead. I got some new shit, man. I'm telling you.
Hey, listen,
Man,
young elder. While we waiting to go hot, young elder, what you was asking me about the werewolves.
Yeah, the ones who wear the wolves. Yeah, what's the connection between them and the vampires? I know Baba said that the Dogons mixed with the Nomos people and created these vampire type race people. And they even break it down in the vampire from Brooklyn where he said they origin is ancient Kemet and then they went to Europe.
Listen to what the vampires refer to the werewolves as. Vampires call werewolves lichens.
Yep.
And the reason they call them lichens because they look like kin, but them motherfuckers ain't us. So we the werewolves, we the ones who wore the wolves, and them motherfuckers the blood sucking adrenochrome witches.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's what I was going to point out. Go ahead.
The whole vampire shit.
Right, brother love.
All right.
So the whole vampire stories, all of the vampire stories is based on like Mary Bathory. It's based on Vlad the Impaler. All this shit is what they call in the vampires. Right? These people. This is the
same Babylonian. Niggas, right? The same niggas. We been getting it. The same little niggas got the willow.
Yeah. I'm trying to show you where how it all tie in. So they when they came over here, they was doing the same thing. Remember, I told you they got kicked out of Europe for eating babies. That's the grievance that the statue represents.
I got all that in the file. Go ahead.
Okay, the reason why they was eating the babies because they was using the adrenochrome in the baby blood for youth serums and elixir of life. This is Babylonian blood magic. It's called Babylonian blood magic. It's harnessing the life force energy of the blood to use it for nefarious purposes. They know that the blood of the righteous should not be spilled in vain is the rule of the earth. So they'll use a righteous sacrifice in order for them to be forgiven for their dirt. Scapegoat. So when they came over here, they thought they was just going to eat our babies and we was just going to take that shit. When you read the stories like Vampire in Brooklyn, they showing you the invasion. They telling you the story. They came to Detroit. We whooped their ass. When you read the story of Chief Pontiac on Belle Isle, right? They say that they lost the battle to Chief Pontiac because out of the darkness of the shadows, giant wolves came and aided the natives in the fight. They said that's the reason he won. That sounds vaguely similar to Haiti. It said Haiti say that the Obi came out the earth, out the shadows of the earth, the Obe aided them as soldiers in the battle. Almost the same is the Hydra. When they was about to be overtaken by the enemy army and then the birds dropped shit on them.
Yeah.
All that's harnessing nature to fight your enemy.
Mm-hmm.
That's all they talk about.
And you know, in that vampire movie, Vampire to Brooklyn, he actually break down the whole. They tell you like the true story about the same people we've been talking about. It said that they came out of Egypt. They were Moors. They came out of Egypt. They went to. I traced them back to Europe. So they got kicked out of Europe because they were drinking and eating the adrenochrome and all that. And then they went, I think what you said, to the Ivory Coast. And then they got kicked out of there again. Then they came to America. I got a map of some of them going to New Orleans. And in that Vampire in Brooklyn, it says they left they left Africa, went to Europe, and then they got kicked out of Europe for eating babies. Then they went to the Caribbean islands, and then they got kicked out of there because some people was chasing them and trying to kill them. And I guess that'd be the Spanish Inquisition or the Roman Catholics or something.
No, they was the motherfucking Spaniards.
Okay, go
They
ahead.
was the motherfucking conquistadors. Same people.
Go ahead.
You telling the story, Elder. The only thing you need to know is them people that was kicking them out of the Caribbean was us.
Okay, go ahead.
See the motherfuckers getting their ass kicked. We was doing it, but they want to tell the story they way. They put their slant on the story because we ain't telling it. We haven't been telling the story. The enemy been telling the story the whole time. I just say, as long as the lion write the story, long as the lion don't tell his story, right? The hunter is always the one glorified.
That's right. That's exactly correct.
Right.
That's like,
okay.
Go ahead.
So now it's time for us to tell our story. Open the Uniting the Wabi Sacred Records of the Moors. It's all in there.
Okay. So y'all brothers done jump right into it. No narrative or nothing. Them brothers is ready.
Oh, we wasn't even doing that. We was just talking about the context of what we was talking about earlier.
Right.
While we was waiting to get on, because we don't even know what the subject is yet.
Hey, can I say this before you say that? Yeah,
go ahead, bro.
Another aspect of it, I'm gonna break it. I'm gonna do a tape on it today. But another aspect of the vampire thing is dealing with the viruses and bacteria. I'm gonna break that down later, but I don't want to change the subject or whatever. I don't know what the subject is. Go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to get into that too. Because if you look at it, like what Brother Rod God said about us being the white blood cells of Earth, planet Earth, and you look at the in little children and the ones that see them as the overlords as a virus, and you decide if they're a virus, how do you stop a virus? How do you kill a virus? You kill a virus by starving it, right? And viruses, this particular virus, right? It feeds off of misery. It feeds off of our pain. It feeds off all the negative energies caused by them persecuting us and horrifying us and having us in a state of fear, of constant fear. So the cure is to give them, to cut all of that off, call all of that off. Anything that they get a chance to feed on, just by divine love, if we come together and just respect one another, come together and stop fearing and know that we got each other's back, stop vibrating low frequencies and doing and thinking all of these things that we do that's on a low frequency is what's really happening. And all of this disrespecting the elders and disrespecting the women and acting any kind of way in front of the children. So all that was to cease. All of that killing one another was to cease. All of that negative behavior by us, they wouldn't have nothing to feed off of. They couldn't even live in an environment like that. They would have to go. They would go on their damn own.
Hey, let me say one more thing. I don't know what the dang topic is, but I just wanted to say this.
Y'all just go ahead. We on the roll. Go ahead. Don't stop.
So the vampires that they show you in the movie, those type, they are real beings that was a mix. Because I'm gonna show that in the Bible talk about it in the Holy Tablets. We talk about the Dogons, who were ancient Egyptians mixed in with these Nomos beings, and a certain group of reptilians that had the Willow's Peak. They were Tanush now. But then it's another perspective on it. Let me close the door. It's another perspective on it where these viruses and bacteria, right? But really viruses, they need a host. Viruses need a host, right? And you gotta invite them in. Just like when they show you on the vampire movies, you gotta invite these vampires in. in order for them to get into your house. They can't come in unless you accept it. It's the same thing about certain foods you eat. You can accept certain viruses into your body and allow these viruses. And they said that life is in the blood. The blood is dealing with the cells. The cells is living organisms. And so they really after the cells. The cells are little galaxies or universes within themselves on a microcosmic level. So these viruses, they looking for to get into them cells. They need those cells as a host. And this is similar. There's another perspective on the vampire thing too. When you're talking about and garlic, vampires are allergic to garlic. And this garlic, if you know why we ancient Egyptians created garlic, is to fight certain bacteria. And people don't like garlic, but it really garlic can kill it like anything you get. Really, garlic can knock it right out. I'm telling you.
Garlic is a well-known antibiotic or an antiviral agent in the homeopathic community.
That's right. Go ahead.
The difference with vampirism is subsisting off the energy or substance of something that you have to kill in order to survive, right? Normally, it's a species so closely related that you can't distinguish the vampire from the actual species. But when we're talking about the blood, we're talking about information. Our history is in our blood. That's why they can't trick certain ones of us, because we read our blood and we have to go find the references to match what the blood tells us. We ain't never researching what the world talking about. We researching what the inner clock is telling us. This is how we run into people like Dr. York. We run into Farrakhan. We run into the coward Jesse Jackson. You know, Al Sharpton with his $10,000 in appearance ass. Right? So what we doing is feeding energy. We moving energy in real time.
That's right.
Right? So tomorrow not here yet because we haven't created it, but we in the process of doing that today. So we using our scraps from yesterday today so that we can put that with what we find out today to build tomorrow. The collective unconscious is at work, like the little man who had the shoes and the gnomes came out and helped him at night. Remember that fairy tale? Y'all remember that?
I don't.
Well, it's a fairy tale about a shoemaker. And he was so poor.
Yeah.
So he started getting help from the elves at night making his shoes.
That's right.
And they was doing such a great job, people was coming far and wide to get shoes from this guy. Anyway,
yeah.
The whole point being is to transfer the energy, right? When the energy is moving, the elements of nature move in alignment with the energy in order to serve the greatest good, no matter what horrible act is taking place. So the ones doing the horrible acts, they not really doing it with their own hands. They're using a cat's paw. Because the person who do the dirt is normally the one who suffer the consequence. But the one who sent them gets away clean. This is vampirism. All of the taking of another person. You got energy vampires.
Facts.
You got motherfucking social vampires. They have to go out into popular crowds in order to recharge their energy, or else they ain't shit. They can't function if they don't suck that energy in. This is what make people be great celebrities, because that energy propels them to higher possibilities of greatness within the self. Because the energy that they moving is tantalizing to the ego to try to attain this God form. So they become great entertainers. But they always got to tie them to a low energy vibration. That way they can control them. Because if they only allow them to function at their highest peak, the energy, then they can't steal the energy. So they have to make them drop down to a lower level when they attain their heights in order to steal the energy. Then they turn them into the bad guy. to turn the victim into the bad guy so that the motherfucking perpetrators can get away clean. That's perfect vampirism.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and in the way that I get it, the Luciferians were the energy vampires, and the Satanists was the ones that put off the body. But as you brought up a point about vibrating at the low frequency, this is a point I want to get out. I find that our people, or the people, organic people of the land, have been tricked into having their focus and their attention on all the lowest vibration activities. And one of the things I was, concerned about being a musician was the music. The way they make their music nowadays, they use a digital format as opposed to the analog, which is far superior. And what we use for most of the years on this planet, we use analog, and we vibrate with the analog because we're analog. The analog is working by waves, and the digital is like a facsimile of sound. It's like a picture of sound. And the way that the music is coming at them, and the vibration of digital sound, when they record in digital, they're using digital dealing with radio waves, and like same thing like a microwave oven. Radio waves like radiation, and that's changing their whole body frequency. It's taking them off. But the analog is what I like to see the young people come back to. I noticed that they put all these people in the music business. They don't allow, like, it's like we don't have any more Marvin Gaye's or Aretha Franklin's or Mozart's or Beethoven's or just real musicians out there and real singers, John Coltrane's and Miles Davis. But the truth is, they are all out there. It's all of those people in the young people right now, but they don't let them in the music business. They don't let them be seen, and they push all of this low-level vibration frequency out in front of them. And so, what I want to do is I want to encourage the young people to start getting into an analog vibe, playing real instruments, and even recording their music with analog, and then translating it into digital from analog. And so that's one of the things that we can do to get the young people off the low vibration frequency. That's a really important part, that music thing and that frequency with the digital. The digital is very harmful.
Okay, now let's deal with the music for a second.
All right.
So you talked about the difference in analog and digital. I'm with you on that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Then a good way for people to get a mental image of what we're talking about, the effects of analog and digital.
Mm-hmm.
The difference is on the nervous system, right? The drum, it doesn't hit the nervous system first. It hits the chakra of the heart, then disperses through the nervous system. Unless you're using what we call root chakra beats. That's the war drum. That's to stir up the warrior. Mm-hmm. So when you hear hip hop, they're using that 808, hitting that root chakra that hard, that's trying to wake up the warrior. Right? The music gonna always bend and form to the culture. If you see that it's the same people and we done switched up our music, we started with ragtime with Scott Joplin.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right.
Right,
because they brought us Beethoven, they brought us Mozart, and they said we didn't have nobody. So we gave the motherfucker Scott Joplin, and he became the first pillar of the music industry over here. There's one thing you got to, when you're talking about music industry, you got to always remember the industry or the business part.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about producing good music. It's about controlling the business part to manufacture the highest output of product for the most amount of money. In other words, supply and demand.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So they use that. When the music switch up, we switch it up. They don't switch it up. But when we switch it up, they want to control it. This is the switch between analog to digital. The reason they did that is because they wanted to get you used to the fingernails scratching the chalkboard.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they're doing to your nervous system.
That's right.
Fingernails scratching the chalkboard, but it's done at such a low frequency, it creep up on you, and you don't even realize that you ain't really feeling the music. The music is really agitating your person. And that's why the old people be like, turn that loud ass racket off.
Mm-hmm.
This is what they're talking about. It's the music is irritating to the elders, but it's not irritated to the youth because they grew up listening to it.
Hey, can I add something?
That playing those video games, the music, three things I noticed about the music. Most of the music is done in a military cadence. It's getting everybody, I mean, from the Beyonce music to just all of it. All this like a military cadence beat.
Yeah, the war drum.
Another thing, huh? Yeah.
That's the war
and
drum.
They're using nursery rhyme lyrics. Rhyme lyrics on a military cadence. Also added on to the sound from all the video games they've been playing for the last 3 decades. All of those sounds that they come accustomed to and listening. Now they put it in the music. They call it rave, but they call it a house, or they call it whatever wild thing. And so that's what they call music. And the voices from the video game, and they put in the auto tune, and they're getting robot kind of sound, and they're not being exposed to the real music, the waves that move like they do. But like I said, all of those same great people, like you said, Scott Joplin, they got a Scott Joplin of young people now out there that's just as great as Scott Joplin.
Mm-hmm. Well, we know this, but see, we taking the business part out of it because they using the understanding of the central nervous system. They using the understanding of the evolutionary change in the music and how it affects the youth, right? So they now that they understand it, they keep continuously using. It's a big. They keep looping the same pattern over and over and over again. If you go back to when Scott Joplin was playing, it was the same impact on the community as rap music is today.
That's right.
They had a whole campaign to try to stop ragtime.
That's right.
You understand? Then when it came jazz, the big bands and everything, that was called the seedy side of town, the shady side of town, right? Because they didn't want the people that was developing here, they didn't want them listening to the swing jazz. The swing jazz became bebop jazz. Hard bop jazz became R&B, rhythm and blues. The blues became the rock and roll, right? But you can trace it all back. When you understand the music, you can see the movement in the culture and how when they try to do one thing with the music, we hit them with a crossover, break their ankles.
And like you said, the industry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
So what they doing is they harnessing the music that we put out, and they won't never let an artist mature from a starving artist into a developed individual. You ever notice that? All of the rap stars die young.
Yeah.
All of the rock and roll legends die young.
They like that 27.
Right. So they don't never want them to see the evolution of a Tupac from an outlaw to a senator.
Right. You brought that up before. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The visualization of what the people can see controls the reality they accept. The way that the music make them feel according to what they see controls how well the dictators of the society can, how well they can control it. Mm-hmm. You need to control the arts and the entertainment the same as you do the economics. It's basic military strategy 101. The more aspects of the enemy's life you control, the more of the enemy you control. Therefore, he's no longer your enemy. He's your subject now.
Can I interject this too? Mm-hmm. When we see us getting to a certain level in the music and they see how it reacts to us, like for instance, this whole thing that you've been coming out with, telling us to reclaim our identity, and when we reclaim our identity, the land comes with it and all that. It's just as easy as and everybody's making it seem hard because everybody's divided in their own thing. Realize that if we just go ahead and get together and say reclaim our identity, we can and reclaim the land. We can iron all of the division stuff out later. You know, once we evict these people, these Enlil's children and their little people that see Enlil's children as their overlords. But what Enlil's children have seen with our development, just talk about the music, they seen us get on certain levels with the music. Like for instance, if we're in a group, just in a big hall, we waiting around, and somebody throw on a James Brown record, everybody's going to come together on the one. They're going to come together on the one. All the organic people.
It's yo, hit me on the one.
And the same thing, if they put on Bob Marley, they're going to come together on the one. So you see, that is how easy it is for us to reclaim our identity. If we come together on the one without thinking about all these division things and all of these things that we're going to implement, we can get that later. But getting back to the music, I have seen where the music was going on when it was getting so advanced, certain artists, like you said, Scott Joplin or John Coltrane or Diz or Duke Ellington, and the music was affecting us in such a way, we were elevating and raising, right? And when they seen that, that's when they would go ahead and put their labels on it, just like saying Lucifer is evil, or like saying the Ankh is evil sign, or the eyes are all seeing eye. They take everything that is good and they make it look evil, and everything that is bad they make it look good. Evil.
Whose strategy is it? So when you put the strategy to the strategist, it's a military strategy. Exactly what you said, and it's also codified in the written record of the earth. It's in the Quran. So if they want to make evil fair seeming, whose job it is to make evil fair seeming is whose text it'll be in. In this case, it's Ninursin. Because Ninursin is Allah who overthrew Allah, the brother who overthrew the sister of the moon. They talking moon magic. This takes us back to what Young Elder was talking about with the blood and the vampires earlier. The moon magic of Ninursin is the Babylonian systems of magic that stems from the Kabbalistic tree. For every one of the sufferers of the Kabbalistic tree is a realm of your life that a magic conjure can control if they tie you into a psychic form, a thought form, an egregore. So they created the egregore Allah to tie you into that thought form so that they can control your output.
Exactly. Labels.
Right. But the reason why you need to know what Ninursin is the one who's telling you he gonna make evil fair seeming. Right? This is what his edict is. That's his strategy. Make evil look like it's the right thing to do. Mm-hmm. Right? So now we believe we get in the story that all of the shit that's gonna really empower us is evil.
Right.
That go right back to what you was just saying. It's an all well orchestrated plan.
Mm-hmm. Every time you get an inkling, it's like if they showed the movie Star Wars or Lost or Star Trek or any of those with a black cast, they would do that in this science fiction because remember that's so they always, that's one way they do it. They'll change the character. Why are they changing the characters? They're changing the characters because they don't want they don't want to activate your DNA. They don't want you to see that you're Darth Vader and you Luke Skywalker.
Alter egos.
Right. Yeah.
I'll be telling everybody that the Joker is Batman. All of the people, the villains in the Batman, all of the alter egos are the schizophrenic Dick. What's his name? Master Dick. Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne is in Arkham Asylum the whole time. That's why it's always dark in Gotham.
Ain't that something?
It's always dark in Gotham. Ain't no sunshine in Gotham because he's in the mental institution going through the dark night of the soul. And all of those villains is the shadow work he's doing to face his alter ego. Yeah. Which, am I going to be the Riddler today or am I going to be Batman? The Batman is the one who can navigate through the sound in the darkness. Because he's using sonar to navigate. Right. Whereas all of the villains
echolation,
different faculties. Mm-hmm. Right. Then they clicking up on him. That means all of his dark forces is coming together to form an alliance against him. So all of those alter egos is what Batman got to conquer in order to get back to the mansion and be Bruce Wayne again.
Right.
That is so awesome. And when you was talking about the shadow work thing, and that metaphor about the mat and the weighing the feather against your heart, it does make you focus on the fact that the things that you gotta get rid of is the things that weigh heavy on your heart.
Absolutely.
And you know what I'm saying? That was like one of the most excellent. I don't know what to say because everybody's always saying Egyptian, but I know that's all Nubia. A metaphor that never came out.
Listen, all over the world, including the motherland, Africa, all over the world, who is known for the feathers? When you think about feathers in the culture,
That's facts. Mad, all of them.
Organic people of the land.
Yeah, I showed that.
Now watch this. Why is you trying to measure your heart, weigh your heart against the feather instead of a fed?
Yeah, go ahead.
Listen. This is God talk here.
Go ahead.
The reason why you can't use a fez to weigh against your heart, because that's only the little 720 degrees of earth knowledge as above, so below.
Right.
That you had, and you probably ain't even spent your tassel all the way around 360 at the top to get your highest degree, and you walking around in the elementary level red fed. You ain't graduated yet.
Exactly.
You ain't graduated yet. So you can't weigh an adolescent's heart against an adult's heart. The adolescent got the opportunity to make all of the mistakes he want to make. The adult doesn't have that luxury. So you can't hold and condemn the youth until he becomes experienced enough to know better. Now he can be reprimanded. That's why you got juvenile court versus adult court. But watch what they do in the juvenile court. They reducing the age of accountability as an adult. Mm-hmm. Now you can be tried as an adult. They saying your intelligence level was that of an adult when you murdered that lady. Your intelligence level was that of an adult when you murdered that lady. Right? So you 11 years old, but they want you to think like a 18-year-old. Because you didn't do what the 18-year-old should have done, they punish you for it. That means they can control when you become responsible. If they can control when you become responsible, then they control the responsibility. So you can't, when you talk about weighing the feather, the pure intentions, that's the adult that went through all of the hard shit and he ain't hold no grudges against nobody. And he asked everybody to forgive him along the way for his transgression because he ain't no better than nobody else.
That's right.
It's just as simple as that.
So his intentions are still pure. They call that being tried by the fire. Jim Croce wrote about it and I learned the hard way every time. It's the same science. You can't weigh the fez against the feather because the fez ain't graduated yet.
So is that the reason why they use the feather versus the fez?
No, because they came over here with that bullshit. I'm just beating up on the feds because they came over here talking about stupid.
Keep on, General. But the master teacher, I was I don't know, I came up, for people don't know, from the Ansar to all the different schools, and so I was fortunate to be present when the master teacher said a lot of things and did a lot of things. He said, when we get to the end of this journey, and he said we're gonna have a mask, and we get to take the mask off and look back, we're gonna laugh. And I'm seeing why he said that, because a lot of this shit is so damn simple. I mean, everybody's making it hard, mostly dudes, because they always want to be the one that's facing the crowd, and they want the crowd to look at them, and they don't realize that the one he's sitting facing the crowd, he's blocking the path. We call that path the Sirat al-Mustaqim, the straight path and stuff. So if he should be that one should be facing the same direction we face, and we're moving in the same direction. So I guess we need to run that one over. But there's always one that
we don't have to run him over.
Go ahead.
We don't gotta run him over. All you gotta do is watch him fall into the ditch. Because the blind can't lead the fucking blind. Listen, when that motherfucker fall into the ditch, you just keep going. You keep doing what you're doing.
Rod said let him fall in the ditch.
Listen, he gonna fall into the ditch. He ain't watching the real leader. He trying to take over and go into business for himself.
Yeah, he want to face everybody and want everybody to face him.
Right, but guess what's gonna happen? He ain't facing the real leader that's looking at everybody, looking at his dumb ass, saying, let that nigga fall off the cliff. He'll figure it out, get back on the track and the rest of y'all.
Rod, you going hard today. Rod said,
we got to learn how, look, life's supposed to be challenges, man. This is the game of the gods. Life is the game of the gods. This is not the real shit. We ain't even fucking here.
I try to tell people
that. Tell you projected into yourself from somewhere else. The hologram is held together by the moon and the Dark Knight satellite. So I'm trying to tell you, if you ain't here, you playing a video game, nigga. This the video game the guys play. This shit for fun.
That's right. That spirit controls that mind, which is the remote control for the supercomputer called the brain in this game layout.
Listen, for eternal beings. Look, you living for eternity, right? What you gonna do? For eternity now, there's no end.
You occupy your time. Yeah.
What you gonna do for eternity?
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to work. Everybody say they don't want to work. So who the fuck gonna run this bitch?
Mm-hmm.
Don't nobody want to do no work for eternity. Come on, man. This is the game of the gods. We playing a simulated holographic game right now. We all in on this shit together, hitting each other from different angles, teaching life lessons, right? We teaching about betrayal and loyalty. We teaching about morals and dogma. We taking all of this shit is Masonic in nature. That's it. 9 areas of people activity. Control that shit, create a compelling spectacle for their laws of power. Draw them in. Become great, but don't step in the great man's shoes because you'll fuck around and trip. You give honor where the honor is due, but you keep on doing you. This is a game. I'm just ready for this bitch to be over so I can live a part of the game that you do. Because my cousin told me that the life is just a game and the motherfucker that died with the most toys win. I done took this bitch over from A to Z. Ain't nothing left. Zigzag, zig, knock to a knockback. Where they is, here I am. There they go. Where we at? This shit over with.
That's right.
This shit, look, we worrying about the music. We worrying about the education. We worried about the entertainment. We worried about the politics. We fucking God, don't none of that shit matter. Piss on all of it. The low vibrational shit can be used just like the high vibrational shit. Stop taking sides. Right. You can't keep your balance taking sides with everything. Mm-hmm. You're going to be off balance somewhere. So how is your feather in your heart going to ever balance out? You always are because you always stuck into the ego with them opinions that the world told you to hold on to as the truth. The only absolute truth is we are here playing this fucking video game. That's it. When you turn it into a game, it ain't even nothing else to be bitching about.
And could I add to that? The other part of that video game is that character that you're dealing with in the 3D. In order to get to the higher level, you got to calibrate that character, that avatar. Right.
We call that purification of the soul.
Yeah. Now, and see that led me to I wanted to share some stuff with the people out there, that is avatar vibrating kind of slow. I wanted to share some of the things that, not being a doctor, but this is what Brother Love does for himself. I wanted to show him a few things. I noticed that I don't see anybody on there. I just see myself. But I just wanted to show a couple of things. One of the things you were talking about, this is just to help a avatar together so they can vibrate on high frequency. They can play this game better. This is this moringa powder, right? And this moringa powder is packed with a lot of nutrients, and it gives you energy and stuff like that. Now, what I found is that, you might go something and pick this up for like $30 or something, but I go over there to Ross's and I pick it up. It's like $6. I just want to show a couple of these right quick. Is that all right?
All right. Hey, while you talking about that moringa, moringa is an electric superfood. Mm-hmm. The magnetic counter is maca. Maca's magnetic, moringa's electric.
Okay, that was on. Oh, you saying that one is the sun food and one is the earth food?
Yep.
Okay. So now here's another one. We're dealing with these marine greens, and it's like it's the spirulina, the kelp, chlorella. That this is perfect for nutrients and perfect for getting rid of heavy metals. This is some
detox.
Detox. Cilantro. Go ahead, young elder.
So I got that stuff you got right there at the house.
There you go.
And you drink that green powder. That green powder is good for kidney stones too.
Mm-hmm. And here we go. We got this. We deal with right now. I'm just dealing with the nutrition. The super green food. It's full of minerals. It's full of minerals. I'm just going to go quickly through this because I got a few things to show you. Another green, another sea green that's good for the chelation and good for energy. The sea moss. And they didn't let you know, but us melanated people, it's like those in the plant's blood right there. That's that chlorophyll. We need that chlorophyll for energy.
I got the same one, but I got some of
To
this.
synthesize, to synthesize that sun photon energy. Right.
I got the liquid form.
Iron. Let me see. What about the iron? Iron is here we go. We want to use the iron fluorine, iron phosphate, the iron that comes from a plant. Iron is conveys oxygen to the brain. That's one of the main things it does. And so iron is like an essential heal of the body and the organs. Iron. And y'all can jump in anytime.
By the way, Fourth, your beard lined up perfect, man. Whoever did your lineup on your beard, that joint fire.
So I got a question for the young elder. What would be your... Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I had a question for the brother young elder. What would be your best advice to people that's listening and that will listen to this live? As far as what, and I spoke with Rod about it and got his opinion or his perspective as far as what we should be doing right now as a people to get this fucking ball rolling a little bit quicker.
I got you. Hey, it's easy, man. My mission was that it was that the war right now is taking place on the mental plane. We already got the land. We talk about the land, but we already got the land. We own the land, like Rod said. He own the land, looking out right now at the land. You know what I'm saying? So we got the land. So this is a mental war now. We got to get the people knowing who the hell they are. They still saying they everything else but what we are. Now we are some of what they saying too, because we part of everything. You know what I'm saying? When you come back to it. But to me, it's a mental war. People will say, let's set up a community. They do all this. We don't got to do none of that. All that. They tried to do all that. Bob and them did that. And them niggas came and bulldozed that shit over. So thing is, the war is in the mental right now. I love my kid. We got to get the minds of our people back on like what Rod's talking about and all that. We got to get the minds of the people. That's all hey, we ain't worried about. They say, hey, why you ain't do this or why you ain't do that? It's because all the stuff you're talking about is physical. I'm not fighting the physical war. I'm fighting the mental war now against the people, against these beings, right? That's how they being exposed now. See, physically, the reason why they never was exposed physically is because they move it into, like Mark Payne said, these beings chess players. They move it in the fourth dimension, the mental plane. So we never did hear no names or nothing really who these people are until now, until Rod Hayes popped up. Like, nobody knew Robert L. was on that shit until like maybe a couple niggas, but they probably was Dirty Moores hiding the shit. But the war is on the mental plane now. We fighting to try to get the niggas' minds saying, hey man, I know who I am. You know what I'm saying? It's on the same method as Elijah Muhammad and everybody else was doing, trying to get them to know the knowledge of self. So knowledge, I think what we should be doing now is getting more intelligent. Studying what the brother Rod Hayes said, go research it. Go get all the books. He didn't read the brother then reference I think probably like about over 100 books to me so far. I think I got them all, like a lot of them in the file.
Easy, Dad. Look, we didn't review a good 30, 40 books on your channel.
At least.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah. He absolutely correct in what he's saying, because we have to get the critical mass of awareness in order to flip the clock. But it's one thing you can't do is you can't jump the gun. Everything is set to a divine galactic clock. We feel like we're not doing that. We feel like this shit moving motherfucking slow as hell. That's because we looking at it from our human mind. When you realize that a day in God's eyes is 1,000 years in ours, he moving at light speed, or she moving at light speed, I should say. Big Mama not bullshitting, but it looked like Big Mama bullshitting on Earth, because it take a certain amount of time for something so big to have a turnaround effect in reality. So it's like when you cast a great conjure, right? You got a longer turnaround time than if you cast a small spell. Ceremonial magic in real time. When the people start spontaneously going out, getting their own feathers and having fucking Mardi Gras on their own without asking nobody, they just get up and do it. that's when you've reached critical mass.
Yeah.
The signs will be present because the people will start to celebrate on their own the victory of the game, right? So when we talk about the God concept, God and the devil, those are immortal beings. And they telling you in your mortal form about your immortality and that you got to be doing something in the meantime. You remember in The Man from the Planet Ritz, Baba said that on Ritz, they watch holograms for entertainment?
Yeah. 3D
I just got
TV.
finished reading that.
This the fucking hologram they watch. This the hologram the Redskins and Anunnaki are watching. And when you get to when you get to mass awareness, right? This is what happens. Nibiru returns is that bell at the carnival when you drop the sledgehammer and it go up top and go ding. When you get to critical mass of awareness, you go ding, unlock the victory, and everybody wins. Everybody.
Yeah, that's
wins.
like I said. That's like I said when I said with the James Brown record on, and without even talking to anybody or anything, everybody gonna get down on the one, just the whole crowd. But I agree with what young elder was saying. But from my perspective, the thing that should be done first, from my perspective, is to reclaim our identity from in the heart, make the announcement to the public, and that way put the adversary on notice that they got to go. I even like, this is how I do it. If I get everybody to say this, I would say something like, "Can you put your name in the back?" I say, "I, Brother Love, now know who I am. I am of the organic people of the land, known as the Americas, and known by many ancient names and many of our family names now known as tribes. And I know all skin folks ain't kin folks." Brother Rod told me. By the authority invested in me by the Galactic Council of Life and expired contract given to the meek, I evict all the wicked imposters off the planet Terra/Earth immediately. If we can get on that tip all together globally and say this, we can go ahead and straighten out the elevating our intellect and stuff like that without interference, persecution, or imposition from these dirty ass imposters.
It's only one part that ain't clicking for you. We on a galactic clock on a schedule. And to us, it looked like we not moving. Shit ain't happening. But on the grand scheme, we exactly where we're supposed to be at the right exact time to get this shit done at the right exact time. Truthfully speaking.
I peeped that years ago.
Right? So, as they say in the Nation of Islam, we on time with time with this one. We can pontificate, we can dialogue about it, but the reality is, when I made that first public notice to them motherfuckers in 2019, the shit was over.
Yeah.
It was over. They was evicted. We was victorious. I went through all of their motherfucking tests. I passed them all. Right? So now all we got to do is watch the schedule unfold. See if you can figure out the schedule is the only challenge. When do we reach critical mass and make the bells and whistles and shit come on? That's all it is now. Critical mass.
Would you call it critical mass? I'm calling it on the one.
Well, the one is the singularity we all trying to get everybody to look at. Critical mass is when we got enough people for it to take hold and it can't be stopped. Mm-hmm. We already at what we call event horizon. We ain't no turning back from here. It's like a game of chess and we playing the last 8 moves out and you know you can't escape the checkmate. They already been checkmated, and they know it, so they just want to make it take as long as they can.
That's a good a metaphor you brought about the chess game too, which brings me with to Messiah, Naya El Mahdi, reaching out here and getting everybody on this vibration that we call Nuwapi, you know, and that goes into the calibration. I wanted to show a few more herbs and vitamins, everybody's the ideal, but I do know that all of this stuff is set up on the galactic clock, and that when Brother Rod brought up that it was one of the rules of galactic war was to use deception and misdirection. I seen it being played from the very I seen it played for always since I was a child, but especially when I became a disciple of the master teacher, because I seen the master teacher being a master teacher. That's why he put out the one of the lessons he gave us was the book of John 20, when and specifically when Mary was in the Garden of Gethsemane and looking for Jesus and Jesus's body, and she supposed him the gardener, didn't know who he was because the brother was on the run and in disguise. And she asked him, you know, about Jesus, and he was like, you know, I'm Jesus. You know, she's, oh yeah. And he said, yeah, but I have not yet ascended. And then he said, but go to my brethren and tell them I had ascended. Now, that lesson that was in there goes with what Rod was saying about the deception and misdirection. And when I brought that up to go with this galactic clock, I seen a lot of things played out with all these different schools and all this stuff like that, because when I picked up, and from my perspective, I was watching how the master teacher was playing this thing like an instrument, and how the adversary was looking, but he was dancing so well that, you know, everything corresponding with that galactic clock. I don't know if y'all get what I'm saying by that.
Yeah, I'm gonna show you what you're talking about. Watch this. Baba was the mirror that they took down before Epstein. Bill Cosby was the mirror they took down Weinstein. Now, the reason why is Baba drink wine. Bill Cosby don't. Mm-hmm. So Bill Cosby reflect the Weinstein because he got the wine, and Baba reflect Epstein because he ain't got no wine because Baba drunk it all. So they're using them as mirrors, right? Everything they accused Baba of doing, Epstein was doing. Mm-hmm. Everything they accused Bill Cosby of doing, Weinstein was doing.
That's right.
You see? So this was their attempt to sacrifice the righteous for the indignation of the wicked. It's one thing that they didn't realize is I already canceled that part of the contract. No longer shall the righteous be held in reprisal for the indignation of the wicked. Every man must stand on his own motherfucking position and carry his own weight. Right? So when I erase that, everybody they sacrifice has to be surrendered now. This is called unlocking the bottomless pit.
Facts.
Right? So if you get rid of the ones who's doing the sacrifice, those who were sacrificed must be redeemed. And I'm the family redeemer, and that's the family.
Yeah.
It ain't nothing personal, it's just family business.
Talk that shit, Rod. Talk that shit. Rod
so
talking that shit today.
A lot of the good Moors' feelings got hurt when I exposed the dirty Moors. Right? Because they didn't know I'm not talking about all Moors. I'm talking about a very specific group. They came over as conquistadors, Frenchmen, Englishmen, and Dutch. They came over as Sephardic Jews, Hasidic Jews, and they all look like us.
Mm-hmm.
And they challenged us to a conjure war, which was a fifth dimensional galactic chess game. I got knighted in on the Dark Knight flip off my father, King Arthur. I'm the one with the Knights of the Round Table now. I'm the one pulled the motherfucking stone out the Raven Rock. The sword out the stone, I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I'm the one telling you where everybody where the motherfuckers at. That's where the whole round table at. So we coming to get our shit. We just watching this shit slow fall and building look like it's falling slow till you try to get from under that motherfucker.
Okay.
I was just telling the brother about the shoot to kill order on the Khazarian Mafia.
Yeah, can you explain a little bit more on that, bro?
Yeah. I got an article yesterday that was detailing the shoot to kill order on the Khazarian Mafia. The Khazarian Mafia is the remnant of the dirty Moors that's still hiding over in the Ukraine. They agents that's operating on their behalf, you know, they got a fake Biden, right? But he got to be in the order. All of the motherfuckers that gave the shoot to kill order, this the death switch, bitch. This shit over with. It's just a matter of bringing it to the people's awareness, this shit over with. When they put that shoot to kill order out on the remnant of the Khazarian Mafia, those that's left, they fugitives of Earth, so they can't even leave this bitch till they bow down.
Damn. And what was the whole purpose of putting the shoot to kill? Is that the basically
because when Trump did that speech where he didn't have no stars on the flag, they had a certain amount of time to surrender. Period. They didn't surrender. So fuck them. They think they can beat us. They can't beat us. We already won.
We won. Hey, and we won now. That's why you spend now backwards. It's won. You know what I'm saying?
So no matter how you look at it, victory is in the hands of the righteous now.
That's right.
Look, if any of these prophecies is true, it got to be followed out as a plan in order to manifest. Somebody had to be following the plan. Fuck the prophecy. Who following the plan? Whose plan was it and who following it? I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's a damn good question.
Look, they gave a Q drop with a picture, a drawing of Yakub saying the father of modern humanity.
Mm.
I got all this shit in my phone right now.
Yeah, I keep up with your little bites on Instagram, and the mother. That brings me up to another thing I wanted to bring up, that to get everybody from focusing on that maniac European devils in action with the ABC, the NBC, CBS, all these little things like that, alphabets. I should have said just like the alphabet channels. That's what I should have said. Is like with these shows like Messiahs and Young Elders and 360, we should always keep calling each other. When we do these shows, call the other brothers' shows out and sister shows out too, so we can develop our network, like the Dane Calloway and the Caramillo Aha and the Brothers Straight Up and the Billy Carson and all of these people, as well as Young Elder and all these. So we go ahead and use these things. Just think to use these things.
Hey, shout out Red Pill and Blue Pill too. Red Pill
Red
and Blue
Pill
Pill.
and Blue. Go ahead.
Don't leave Brother Rich out. Black
Yeah.
Magic
Yeah, but
363.
yeah, Black
Yeah,
Magic. My brother
definitely. I
here.
wanted to give a shout out to Black Magic because I like his work. I definitely like his work, and I also want to publicly say I thank the brother Young Elder and Rod Hayes because since I've been appearing on their lives or their show, or vice versa, a lot of brothers and sisters have been reaching out to get that language down packed, man. And I want everybody in the chat like, subscribe, and share this video. The elders is going in hard today.
And make comments too. And I want to shout out Messiah. Learn Nawapic with Messiah. That's a thing that's that's an awesome healing for the entire Terra, planet Terra. If we can get on that vibe, it doesn't stop you from being who you are because there's no monopoly on spiritualism. Some people, some people was asking me, well, tell me about Nawapian spiritualism. What that is? Nobody has any monopoly on spiritualism. Spiritualism, you got two types of spiritualism. You got a positive spiritualism and negative spiritualism. Positive spiritualism is when you do unto others that you would have others do unto you. You strive for righteousness. Huh?
Hey, I got a
The golden rule.
The golden rule. Let me just
wait.
Everything exists. Everything exists. So treat everything with respect. Morality. It's basic. Be positive. Be the best you can be. Free will. All that. Negative spiritualism. Be the best asshole you could be. That's pretty simple. That's something negative.
I got that one down right there. You're pretty good at that.
Well, you got to balance, my brother. You got to balance, General. I do too.
In the mystery systems, they call that the righteous path is the right-hand path, and what we call the wicked path is the left-hand path. The goal is not to take sides. That keep you straight in the middle. That's on the straight up. Right? So if you upright, sometimes you realize you got to punch a motherfucker in the face to do what's right. It's not personal. It's just the law of nature.
Hey.
Sometimes you got to push the snot box back, chop him in the throat, and get his back dirty.
The fuck?
When he wake up, I bet you he bump straight.
Make sure you're in the right when you do it.
Rob Hayes,
and you'll always come out. Yeah, make sure you're right when you do it. You always come out on top. That's been my experience. I'm 66 years young. I've been in a lot of them, but I never lost any of them.
Look, my mama say, as long as you start off from the position of right, the Lord gonna have his hands of protection on you and you can't lose.
There it is.
So when I be right, I be busting them upside the head, whether it's with these fists, but my OG say we ain't gang banging, we brain banging. So I gotta hit them with the hard facts that they don't want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
but look, while we giving shots out, Brother Love is the Nuwabian music teacher. Y'all got to be aware of that because he's going to be the one in charge of teaching music classes and tuning everybody back into the A tone. Then Brother Messiah, he the language teacher. You got to have words on the music. You got to put it in Nuwapic. It's going to change the frequency.
Right.
This is why the language was created in the first place, because when we using a language that's geared to our electromagnetic frequencies and to calibrate us to the right knowledge, it causes us to wake up at an exponentially faster rate. So these two brothers that we need to be aware of, because one is the music teacher, one is the language teacher. And if you're going to be a music writer, you need both.
Damn right. Damn right. And you know what? I also like to actually give a shout out to all the brothers and sisters that's been watching the Young Elder show and the various other different platforms and listening to the brother Rod Hayes and commend them for their ability to recognize, where they should be at as far as raising their frequency and vibration and coming to the language class. Like it was about a good 15 of us the other day. And we had a very good class yesterday. and predominantly, just like the brother Rod Hayes and the brother Love was saying, it's the divine feminines. They all the way serious with it too.
Yeah, I wanted to bring that up. I wanted to bring that up too. I forgot. Shout out to Dr. G, House of Reawakening Minds.
That's my girl there.
There you go. Shout out to Empress. Is it Empress Pandera? Shout out, help me out. So shout these sisters out too. Shout out to Fannie Lou Hamer. Bless her heart. Made me tear up, man. Go ahead.
Hey, that was a bad sister there.
Yeah, man.
Hey, look, they sleep on Fannie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna probably put some of her clips up on my Instagram or Facebook because she look. I keep telling everybody because we got these country accents that don't make us dumb. They think I be bullshitting. Look, Big Mama call them people about the fields and say, go in there and fix the problem. We coming to fix it.
Ain't no doubt.
Look, Fannie Lou came to fix this shit. She wasn't bullshitting. She was not bullshit. She came to fix this shit. It's just that her people wasn't ready. See, any one of us individually could be ready, but when is the people going to be ready is the $1 million question. Right? When they going to realize that them motherfuckers told you was from somewhere you wasn't from, you at home, you been at home, and another motherfucker in your house that need to leave. Because he got the kids fighting each other. He got the sister fighting the mama and the daddy fighting the son. What kind of dumbass shit is that?
But Rod, check this out. Why do all his brothers think they got to do some shit first? The template is, you've been saying the template is already there. When we get in a position, niggas is gonna get tapped for their work that they did and stuff. They're gonna get tapped to be put in position, so they don't have to worry about. Just come together on one. It's that simple. I want to shout out my short giant, Noob Carre, my wife, but that's a bad mo. I'm gonna just still chop that out. And but just like that. Go ahead.
Yeah, so the incoming information, you say on the one. Remember the Million Man March speech by Farrakhan?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he said when you hear the A tone, right?
Right.
Where we gonna be at?
We gonna be on the one.
He said we gonna be at one.
Right, at one. That's
take
right.
The A and the T and you separate it from the next three letters, it's at one.
That's right. That's right.
And that's why I gave the A tone to make the loop, to make the loop tied.
This question right here is for the brother Young Elder. So with the Nuabic language being presented in more of a musical form, do you from your perspective, do you think that this is a way for more people to be able to intertwine and attune themselves with those frequencies? And if so, explain a little bit. Is the brother there?
That's for you, Young Elder.
Go ahead, Rod. Take it away.
Well, the thing is this. It's all about frequency, and the language is about frequency. If we looking at developing a mentality or mindset on a higher frequency, we need a language to compel the mind to operate at a higher frequency.
Okay.
That was the purpose of Nuak. So the language is necessary. It's just that we got to start with the youth. A lot of the elder people is too stubborn to learn a new language.
Now, I'm going to be all the way honest with you, right? So I've had this conversation for quite some time now. And one of the brothers that I grew up with named Batin, he from New York, but he lives in Virginia now. He and I was speaking about that. And he was the person that actually directed me to TikTok. He was like, man, you need to go to TikTok because there's more youth there. And with the youth, you can do more because, just their ability to be able to, grasp and memorize to a certain degree. And that does, I don't, from my perspective, I think we need all people, but I understood what he was saying as far as like, with different age groups and how once when you've reached a certain age, it's kind of more difficult to try to retain a whole nother language, especially with difficult sounds. However, the mass majority of the people in the class are of the older age group and they're actually getting it down pat. I don't know if it's their skills and ability, their desire, or the teaching method that I'm presenting, or a combination of both, but they're definitely getting it.
I think
the ones that's coming as older people that's coming to you to learn are the ones that's still willing to learn. They come to you childlike, right?
Gotcha.
That means that they come open to learn. That's what that means. When you look at a lot of the older people, though, as we get up in the higher in the age bracket, the less enthusiasm to learn an entire language is there. They get comfortable in their lifestyles and they don't want to learn nothing new. But if they learn something new, it'll give them a new outlook on life. It's just like detailing the car, fixing up the old car. When you detail it, make it fresh, you want to drive that mug around and let people see it. It gives you a new vigor for life to develop new skills over time. But the youth are already calibrated. When they hear the language, they was born based off the beat and the music that's been playing, more apt to draw to the language than the regular adult.
I agree with that too, because it's like something about the youth that they're like so excited. Like when they start learning the Wapik, I'm talking about they fucking enthusiasm be through the roof. It be through the roof. And another thing that I don't want to forget this, brother. I want to give a shout out to the brother, Dr. Karam Ellis, and his family, his mate, and his children. When I tell you that they are the epitome of what a Nubian family should be, as far as being on the language level, they are the epitome. He sent me a few videos that his wife and his children and him basically recorded as far as like going through the process, because he raised his children up with fluent Nuwabic, no English in the household. And when I tell you he did a damn good job, that's my dude right there. Dr. Karam Ellis, shout out.
That's what's up. I got a homeboy in Detroit, Zosar Moon, who's a Nuwabi, and he teach his children, been teaching his children since they was born. He don't even speak to them in English in the house.
That's how Dr. Karam is. Like, you got to see his videos. Like, he also basically was telling me on one of the lives that he did with me, from his perspective, as far as like how to get, the other different aspects that come along with language. For example, he said he noticed that once when he started teaching his children Nuwabic from birth, that cut the TV out. So then they had to create things that was relative for them to watch. So he started actually doing Nuwabic plays, or with the what do you call it, like a ventriloquist type thing where you got the two puppets and one hand, huh?
The puppet show.
The puppet show, right? He created the puppet show, and then he started to actually create music in it. His wife and him, which the maths teacher used to also have them down on Tamaray, singing and rapping and stuff in Nuwabic. But he basically showed his creativity that once when the language English was eradicated and Nuwabic, replaced it, that the other social elements or aspects of social life that was needed to be replaced, that required, the language to be spoken while actually viewing it, they actually implemented it. And that shit worked. It worked. Young Elder back in the building. We had a question for you, Young Elder. You there? I think your mic muted.
Hey, yeah, my phone I got it on charger. My phone went dead.
Oh. Yeah, we had a question for you. So you gave me a example of like the language, right? That's what we was just talking about, the Wabik. And you said that in 10 years, this would be one of the methods that would probably be one of the best ways to teach. Now let's fast forward past the method and get to a generation of people, a population of people that were born and raised speaking Nuwabic fluently. How do you envision their interaction with the world would be? And can you compare and contrast their interaction in that day and time in contrast to their interaction now?
Yeah, by 2030, if you keep this format, it'll be everybody will be speaking it, and we're the language is one of the main key points to your nationality to me, because the language is going to give you your own tribal tongue, and it's gonna make unite us more as a people. It'll give us something that we got that's everybody else don't got. And but well, everybody else got it, but they got their own. You know what I'm saying? They got their own. The Mexicans got even though they speak in Spanish, and that's like from conquerors, and they really spoke another language. I'm gonna get into that on a different species evolution of human species. While I talk about how I talk about the Sans people's language. Really, the Chinese language is the origin of it is from the Sanskrit language, from Sans people, these Sans people, and the Hindus mixing in together. And but the language, and that Chinese language is from a Creole of over time of the click language that the Sans people speak, and the Sanskrit from the Hindus, right? Maybe one of the reasons why they call it Sanskrit, connected with the Sans people, because the Sans people is the oldest species on the planet as far as humanoids go. Yeah, and so. Yeah, that over time, in about 10 years, everybody will be speaking it. And what it'll do is we'll be more intelligent. It'll open up more compartments in our brain that need to be unlocked through the language as part of the DNA. See, it's a lot of codes in our DNA that's being unlocked right now. Like as the brother Rod Hayes revealed all of the stuff that he's revealing, because a lot of people weren't talking about none of the stuff he was talking about. They weren't looking at it from that perspective that he gave. So the brother Rod is a legend in my book, because with the perspective that he gave, it gave me another look at this thing. And another thing is what the language will do. We can be more. Like I say, the main thing, it'll build more of us a unity as a nation with the language. You know what I'm saying? I see it in 10 years us speaking it, and we'll be accepted. We don't gotta accept. They don't gotta accept us. We gotta accept them. See all those suckers that folks that didn't help us, while those dirty Moors was over here taking advantage of us. Nobody came, and like I'm gonna tell you, a lot of them. Hey, Hakeem, you gotta go in there with it. A lot of those a lot of those other races who wasn't with the dirty Moors, but they knew what they was doing. They never did tell us. They never did say straight up. Like the people that was on that train the other day when I was in Houston, those Mexicans, they saw me with my Native American attire on, and they were talking in Spanish, saying, "I wonder, do he know that they are the original people and that these they got took advantage of?" And I'm saying to myself, if they speak English, why they ain't telling me that? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's a journey of self-discovery, is why. Okay, can't nobody tell you who you is. You have to figure out who you is by how you vibe with the earth.
Okay, go ahead.
This is why all of the foreigners come over here and live off us, because we the salt of the earth. We the flavor. All things spring and come forth from this land, the great Atlant. They call it Atlantis, right? We the Atlanteans. And so when we give the culture in arts and entertainment to the world, we spiced it. Imagine life with no music, right? How miserable would that shit be? But we'll still find the music, because we'll be listening to the birds sing, the crickets chirping, and the frogs quirking, right? Because we would have to find a form of musical expression to match our emotional development. Music is intricately tied to who we are. They know this. That's why they exploit us in the industry, because they know we know how to reach each other no matter what musical genre it is, we can get the message through the music. So they want to control the messages that we put in the music so that they can give us the false pretense. Like they came out with mumble rap because they know that we can't really tell what somebody's saying. But you know what it told me? They mumbling because they're not free to say what they want to say. Right? So now I got to answer that grievance. Right? So when you answer the grievance, what's the remedy? Take the motherfucking industry and decentralize. Let every artist own his own shit because it's his shit he created. And then if you want to aid and assist the artist, you be a facilitator of allowing him to express himself to the world, and he give you a fee. You don't pay him, he pay you.
Mm-hmm.
Right? This is why they killed Otis Redding and Sam Cooke.
Right.
Right? Because they starting to take that back, that concept back. That's why they broke James Brown. James Brown said, I'm probably going to die broke because I'm going to keep teaching my people how to not be victims.
Buying radio stations and things like that. Had his own label. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, you know, they don't want us to be seen in a success position, but we the formula for success.
Mm-hmm.
When we realize that we the formula, when we realize we the formula, that's when we start controlling our own destiny.
Well, they realize it because that's why they keep on interrupting our flow with music. When we do music, we do things naturally to elevate ourselves on a spiritual level, a physical, physiology, a chemistry. It just elevates, and that's when they keep on coming and redirecting it, repackaging, what they call it nowadays, when they branding it, rebranding it, because we just do natural things to build. It's just like if you're that benevolent organic being, you just naturally build. But go back to what you're saying, and I want to build on something about this old thing. Go ahead, Rob.
The older people being stubborn to learn a new language.
Yeah.
I wanted to listen.
I'm not debating that.
I try to get older people to read a book, and they look at me like I lost my mind.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What I'm saying from my perspective, right? I studied this theology. I'm this doctor of divinity from the Church of Christ, from the great teacher, the master teacher, Malachi Z. York. And I read in the book of Numbers that we go up to 120 in age. So, y'all go ahead. I'll be right back.
Somebody call it, I think Brother Love. Hey, but what I was gonna say is, these suckers, man, they know we on them, man. As far as these, that dude Robert Moore ill, I got some niggas on this trail right now. They gonna get back with me in a couple days, man. On that nigga,
he might be a phantom, Elder.
You say what? Go ahead.
He might be a phantom. He might be just put there in order to show you what's going on.
Just a name, all cap name for a group of niggas. You know what I'm saying? Sitting back hiding behind.
Right. So they got to show you what's going on in the background. You got to figure it out. That could be just to show you what's going on in the background.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So once you know what's going on in the background, then you can read better what's going on in the forefront.
We got it narrowed down, though. We definitely got it narrowed down to start almost to where they at. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't worry about that shit because that might not even be the individual that they got in there. They might be sending you on a wild goose chase.
No, I'm talking about not the actual dude Robert Moore. I'm talking about just the people, the people who fanging us in general, the dirty Moors. They didn't
already been identified. That's why I brought up the shoot to kill order on the Khazarian Mafia. This is what they talking about, the ones that's left.
What?
Cause see, when they gave the opportunity to surrender, the last ones didn't surrender. They on their own. It's death on sight for them.
And that's why they running. That's why all them people they running. Those they running from country to country.
Mm-hmm. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
What I'm gonna do, because of my y'all not coming through, I'm gonna go off and come back again. You gotta let me back on, Messiah, because I can't hardly hear y'all.
Okay.
All right.
Go ahead, finish, brother Young Elder.
Hey, this is what I was thinking though. Like, okay, and then you heard about that thing with Herschel Walker. And I just was talking about him the other day with the Mandingo. He played in the movie Mandingo, I think, right? Herschel Walker. He running for governor somewhere, and now all of a sudden some chick popping up saying that this might just be gossip, but it's like this. It's mighty strange how I was just talking about the Mandingos, and now this dude running for Georgia, I think, and now they all of a sudden a scandal come up with him getting his ass licked or something in the bathroom and signing a abortion paper.
What the hell? Man.
Hey, look. This might not be gossip, but I just want you to look at the psychology of how they do our people. All right, so this dude Herschel Walker is running for mayor, governor.
Character assassination.
Yeah, you see how they got his son, who's a homosexual, to come and help take him down. His own son is a homosexual. He come to take him down, saying that, oh yeah, he really was in the bathroom getting his ass licked, and I caught him, and it was with a such and such chick, and maybe he didn't be the dude one time. I just can't remember. Yeah, like this nigga. Like he getting paid. That dude's son got to be getting paid. It's all of a sudden now he pop up out of nowhere. I never even heard of Herschel Walker's son until now he running for governor. Now they paying his son, his own family, his own son to go against him.
Don't that sound familiar, Young Elder?
Yakub, yeah, Jacob. Mm-hmm. I used to take him when he was a little kid, when he was a little child in New York. I had to take him pedaling with me as an Ansar. That's how. Yeah, I remember him when he was a child, and his brother Yanalehi. That was a beautiful, beautiful brother.
You talking about Pop's son? You talking about Pop's son?
Yeah, Pop's son. Well, I'm talking about both of his sons. Well,
he died.
Well, he got killed. Yeah,
I think he was at a club or something. Yeah, I know Yadalahi.
But anyway, I want to go back to making that point. So we like 120. So me at 66 years young, and I always say 66 years young, and I feel that those that are they using the term awaken, we don't view ourselves just. I think Rod kind of made a point like that. We're enthusiastic like that, and like a child about wanting to learn, and that's why I was stressing, getting that, calibrating yourself, mind, body, spirit, and soul. And I was showing dealing with the avatar when I was showing the herbs and the vitamins and things like that. So, I mean, and then I hear people out there talking about, this is old knowledge, old teachings, and this is the new teaching. And I'm looking at them like, do they have any concept of what time really is? Because if you look at the what was taught to them in the 100 years and the stuff that was taught in the past or the past 30 or 50 years and what's taught now, it's like being taught in the now. There's no difference between what was taught in the past, and that they talk about learning something, and everybody they quoting is eons years old. When they talk about learning Melchizedek or Tahuti, or talking about learning from Yanun or whatever, and then they say, "Oh, that's an old." Well, who are you quoting? Who are you quoting? So I don't really think they really have a concept of time. But I mean, as far as people that now are just like the sheep, yeah, I would say, what Rod was saying, it really goes for them. But people that look at life in terms of ascension, that age thing don't really go with them. That's my perspective.
Okay, so Brother Love, I do got a question for you. As far as getting back on the tones and the frequency, how can you aid and assist us? Because, you know, the brother Rod said the music and the language have to go together in order to be able to raise the frequency. Because even though you got the, you know, the harmonics and I should say the rhythm, the tone, and things of that nature, you still need the lyrics, and that it should be in the language. What advice can you give, or what can you actually give, not advice, give to actually help marry those two things, the Nuwabic with the music?
Okay, well, first, I want to say it's just like what we were talking about when I was talking about the Maniac European Devils in Action and all these alphabet things that everybody's getting their information from and start shouting us out on the YouTube and the IG, and we get our own network. In order to do what you're talking about, we have to start being independently producing and creating our own products in order to control what tones we're going to put it in, what frequencies, and how we're going to deliver it in terms of the language. And see, we have to have freedom and be liberated in order to do that. I mean, you said the formula is for us to put it in the proper tone frequency for us, ourselves, and our vibration, and even on the other side of hydrogen to be able to interact with that. So we already know that. And that's the same thing with the alchemy of the language. The language, when the master teacher, where he explained it, it was alchemy in the letters, in the delivery of the phonetics of the word. It had to do with the length, the rhythm, right? The configuration of how you are holding and using your avatar with the mouth, the throat, the roof of the mouth, and all of these things. So it just learning the language. I mean, it's more than just the learning the language encompasses knowing the alchemy and the power and how to deliver it, right? Well, we have to have our own independent labels, our independent productions in order to do that. So I would encourage, as far as teaching the music, teaching language, and the delivery of the alchemy of both. Yeah, that's what has to be done. But we can't do that and expect to get signed with I'm gonna throw these names out, Sony or Columbia or any of that. That's them. They already do. They already got a calibration in the frequency that they're working the alchemy with. Happens to be destructive to the environment and to especially human beings. But we have to get our own independent. And I think that Rod said that earlier.
One of the things I think he was more interested in, like sing-alongs for the kids to learn the language. Could you do the background music for them?
Oh, yeah. I got a lot of stuff.
Yeah, because when you remember, they started first education used to use nursery rhymes for accelerated learning.
Yeah. And that's what the brother, go ahead, Rob, because that's what the brother
can I interject? Does. Yeah, well, what he was asking me, could I put together stuff like that? I noticed that you didn't play that. You didn't get a chance to play that song, "We Are the Rays."
Yeah, I played it. Yeah, I played it in the beginning.
I didn't hear it. Oh, yeah,
I played it in the beginning until y'all came on. But the thing was, my other computer, something is wrong with it, so I had to play it on my phone. But I even played the meditation music for a little while. But I learned from Young Elder that we got to pull that chat up and see what the brothers and sisters are saying, just in case they have questions. So I just turned it off after a while.
Right? Can you play it now?
That song?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me go right to it.
Hey, why I'm using that. That's a good idea though, Rod. What Rod said with the nursery rhyme, like that, do like the ABCs, like that with the language. That should be fire. My kids are little rich.
That's why I'm asking to play this song, because this song is something
go
like
right
that.
Here. Here's the song right here.
You can't hear it. It won't come out. It's digital.
You can't hear it?
No. It's not gonna, because you got a
Hey,
digital.
that's the number one. That's the number one hit right there on the app, on the Brother Love album. That's the number one hit. Yeah, I'm telling you.
But that's kind of like,
that's why I be trying to reach out to the brother Young Elder, because I like with this Zoom, I have not yet learned how to actually put the music in it. I know I gotta save it to my files and then bring it up in my files some kind of way.
Young Elder played it on his show and stuff like that. I just wanted to show and said
it's on the greatest show on the universe, part 9 or 10.
So what do you do, Young Elder? You put it in your files, save it in your files, and then screen share it?
No, I play it. I mix the whole track down with the song in there and then play it live.
See, I don't know how to do that yet.
Yeah. Hey, look, you know what? I might. Brother Love needs to just really load that song. That one song up to his page, and that'll be fire. So that we get them plays going on that joint. That we work together.
Yeah, I tried to play it. I tried to play it, like use my phone, like in the beginning, because I had spoke to Brother Love, and that was our agreement to like have the intro. By the way, that was written and sung by the Brother Love. So the brother is talented with the music, but I had to do it on my phone because
and played the instruments.
And he played the instruments,
real instruments.
And he got another hit. He got another hit called "Climbing the Mountain."
Okay, yeah. I didn't hear that one, but
Sunday wrote to his wife. That's a hit too. Like he got a couple of hot tracks already, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, but he need to load them up to his page. Like just those songs, but that work together, because that already had a lot of plays already, because everybody was already on it. Everybody already just listening to it. It got like about 2,500 plays, 3,000 plays on that old tape that we put out.
And I was just saying that what General was talking about is that the way that song is configured. It's a very simple way, and the tones is within the tones of what is healthy for us, and it'll appeal to us. And so it's like that. It was very simple and a simple melody. I've been told when I was back in Passion. I was a producer at Passion. I was told that people would listen to my music and say, "Oh, that sounds like a T-shirt." I was like, "Well, that's completely incidental, because not incidental. It wasn't intentional. It just came out that it was just like that, because I hadn't even heard his music when they was listening to my music, and they matched up. I know and the keys and things like that matched up. So yes, as for what Rod was saying, yes, I'm 100% with that. He can make that happen.
Okay, so going back to like the thing that the brother Rod was also commenting on when I was asking you, as far as like with the nursery rhyme type thing, so that we could be able to get the children to learn a little bit more quicker. What would be your suggestion with that, Brother Love?
My suggestion is exactly what you just said. I mean, I don't see where to improvise on that. Is we put the video with the actual Nawapic rhyme, where they can see the visualization of what we're talking about, with the music, and with the music in the right tone, which is what was that? Is that 528 and 432?
Yeah.
Rod? Are you on that, Rod?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah,
I was listening, y'all. You talking about the love frequency?
Yeah.
It's 5. I think it's 532.
No, 528 and 432, right?
That sounds about right.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I would do. That's my automatic approach to it. I automatically do that, So yeah.
Yes, we're talking about earth tones,
right,
and galactic frequency. The tone means something different on Earth than it would somewhere else, right? Because there's a natural resonance from the Earth. The Shu Min resonance is going to be Shu Tefnut once again. That's called proper alignment in the atmosphere, which is going to make the music's impact greater. So music is going to become more instrumental in the learning process than it ever has before, because we moving into the galactic heart chakra, so to speak. The Aquarian age is bringing in all of the spirit energy, which is that big mama energy of pure love, raw mitochondrial secretions in human form. The music is going to be used to calibrate those chakras in proper alignment. What you do with the language is you record the stories and you tell them in short parts in the language, and you turn them into nursery rhyme songs.
Yeah.
So you still using, because these stories is more about the frequency of telling the story, the grid action, activating the throat chakra to change the vibration and the frequency by telling the story in a coherent manner, makes the frequency have to align to a coherent vibration. So when you realize that all of the story is a big ass love story, right? And the goal for the man is to become the hero, and the goal for the woman is to be rescued by the man, but not rescued in the sense of damsel in distress, but more like come to her aid, like Prince Charming meeting his princess. Right? So when you change the story to a love story, it changes the outcome that's possible. Because now you, as Dr. B. Serious say, you vibrating on the love frequency. You're riding the love train, as the OJ say.
Right.
You in a caravan of love.
Yeah, I already did a few of those.
I
already did a few. We did one. I did a few of them when they were young, and one called the Rainbow and things like that. But I wanted to say for those that might be listening to us, and the young people, I know that there's a lot of awesome musicians, singers, composers, arrangers that like the world didn't even believe exist. But I know y'all are out there right now. So I just encourage you to keep doing your thing, because the time is now that we will be bringing your healing power throughout this whole Terra, Earth, planet. So don't give up. Don't let nobody take you, move you off your square, off your path of perfecting those instruments and learning and putting in the work. Not just somebody just get up there and do a tune and, oh, you sound great. When we used to give those people the hook on the Apollo show, because that's what they did a lot of. I seen it coming in. People could get up there and then they click, says, "Oh, y'all sound great," and we looking at each other like, "Are they serious?" No, we don't want that.
Yeah,
put the work in.
Apollo gonna bring your ass up out of
there. There you go. What I'm saying, Sandman gonna. Not Sandman, but the one with the broom, he gonna sweep you off, and that's what I'm gonna do too. I'm gonna give you the hook too, because
that's Sandman.
That's Sandman. That was Sandman. Oh yeah, Sandman gonna dance you off. But yeah, in order, see what happened. And this is how I would put when I would teach children, when I would bring them, and we would have a music conservatory, and I would just have a bunch of instruments in there, young kids, and I just let them go in the room, and we just observe them, and whatever instrument that they pick up. And they hold and they play it for a while, they might pick up one and put it down and go to another one and pick up. Once the one that they go to and they hold on to it for a long time, that's their instrument. So far as saying, I'm going to give my child this piano lesson or whatever, that it's like, find out what they like. Because whatever they like, they're going to excel at. Just like Rob was talking about education, open air education. It's the same thing with music, you see. So anyway, I'm just making those few points.
But you're absolutely right, because if the child you're teaching him also to use his willpower. because he had to learn that instrument and he had to use his willpower, which requires self-discipline that the child had to develop on his own anyway. You just giving them the outlet.
I agree. Yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly.
The deal is when they pick up something that they like and they find themselves playing with it, they look up and 2 or 3 hours went by. It's not like the general state is disciplined, but they're not looking at it like that. They're having fun. They want to find out everything about it, and the creativity, the way they play it, like the way I play guitar. I can play on the same level as B. King or Carlos Santana or any of them, but I play it like Brother Love. When I play it, automatically I'm playing.
That's right. It's like your signature.
Exactly, and that's the same thing. That's what the youth are going to do, and you don't tell them not to. So, like Dizzy, I was in a workshop with Dizzy Gillespie, and he said he had paid with Forest lessons. He was a virtuoso, trumpet, the music arranger, composer, writer, and he said he had 2 lessons, music lessons he had in his life, paid for 2 lessons. It only took 1. So what you see what I'm saying? It was to create his own creativity. And he learned how the theory and the writing, which, for instance, a lot of people will have you think that if they read music or they write music, that they're more superior to. Everybody plays music by ear. All the concert, the virtuoso violinists, everybody plays by ear, because if it don't sound right, you can play it and you read it off a note, but if it don't sound right, it ain't right. So all musicians play by ear. But
that's how they jump notes. That's how they marry the notes together, by how it sound.
That's it.
Because when you jump notes, if you don't marry them together, it sounds horrible.
Brother Love.
Yeah.
The brother, well, he D-Money in here, but that's one of our students in the Wapic class. He's like, Brother Love, I need to hear that. He said he need to hear it. He said he need to hear it, bro.
He's right. He's right.
Now,
so
I'm gonna give a shout out. I'm gonna give a shout out to his name Muhammad, but I'm gonna give a shout out to V Money Muhammad. Like that brother learns very fast. Young brother too. I think he may just be at 30 years old. He from Detroit originally, and he went.
I'm from Detroit too. Let me holler at you. I'm a D boy too.
Yeah, he went to he left Detroit to go move to Arizona to go to school for audio engineering. That's what he was out there doing. So yeah, the brother come to class consistently and he learns fast. But go ahead.
Well, we definitely need him because we need people that. What happened is a lot of times people listen to my recordings and they wonder, wow, man, that they don't, because you can get all the lows, the mid range, and the highs. Because I record in analog and then I transfer it to a digital configuration, But I mean, I would like to see our technical inventors and create an advanced analog system for the future, because it's far more unlimited than digital. Is a frozen picture facsimile of what the sound is.
Right.
But anyway, I'm gonna have to break away from you.
Yeah, we about to end it. We about to end it. Our time is up. So if y'all brothers want to say anything, this is the closing. We might have enough time for about 5 minutes worth of questioning for the brother Young Elder and Rod Hayes. But I know the brother Love got to go to work. So if y'all got any type of questions. Yeah, man, I enjoyed this. I want to thank y'all brothers, man, for coming on, man. This was good. Y'all jumped right to it. We didn't even need no dialogue. Brothers, Rod and Young Elder jump right to it. They don't need no introduction or nothing. Shit, Rod, go in.
Okay, the last thing for this tape I'm about to put out today when I come back from picking up my son about the vampires. And then when Rod Hayes take that tape out, maybe he can send me more stuff on it, because I know once he see where I'm going with it, he gonna be able to say, okay, I see what I see another part that he probably missed or something that he can put together. I can add that piece and I can really finger these motherfuckers. Man, when I tell you I got some shit on them motherfuckers eating them kids. Even the Israelites, look, it's it's all in their doctrine. Right in the Bible in 2 Kings in 28, it says that these Israelites ate their children. It's the same niggas they Rod Hayes talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Well, a couple of things I wanted to leave y'all with is anything that you come out of is bigger than you. And we all come out of her portal of life. I ain't never seen a father without a mother. I'm one of Big Mama's boys, and I'm proud to be with the General. Rod Hayes, I'm proud to come the master teacher, Yana. The Three Kings walking. I want to see it soon. Young Elder 23 out there. Messiah, your time has come. I love you all. And Ashuk Wadu.
Young Elder, the brother got a question. Shout out to Christ, the great silver tree. He said, "What up?" He said, "What's up with the mirror tape, Young Elder?"
The mirror tape?
Yeah, he said, "What's up with the mirror tape, Young L?"
We already put the mirror tape out. Me and Rod Hayes already put the mirror tape out.
He said he already put it out.
It's called Mirror Work with Rod Hayes. He already put that out like 2 months ago.
He said that tape was out about 2 months ago, brother. So you might want to go ahead and sift through the page and go ahead and get that.
Well, we talk about it like Rod talked about it a little like when it come up, but like we already did a whole tape on it like 3 hours long called Mirror Work. Where he's talking about how everything. Now he just went into a little bit of it. He ain't going because it's more elaborate. You gotta be a high power alchemist to fuck with that type of shit, man. Because fucking with mirrors is real dangerous.
Yes, sir. You get trapped in them motherfuckers.
Fucking I don't even do it because I ain't even on the level to do it. To fuck with it. I just observe motherfuckers doing it. You know what I'm saying? Just watch. So eventually, when I see every time they fuck with that mirror, whatever warning signs that pop up, I've already seen it before I start fucking with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how you watch somebody do something, and then when they make a mistake, you just say, okay, I know that's how. If I do that, that's the result of it. You know what I'm saying? The outcome of it. So you gotta be a high power. You gotta be fucking with those mirrors. Really, mirror workers are born mirror workers. You know what I'm saying? So motherfuckers fucking with them mirrors and you don't know what you're doing because that mirror is a back door. That mirror is a back door, man. And all true alchemists know that that's a back door. You can cross fucking parallel worlds through a mirror. And that's what Rod Hayes say when he's talking about the mirror tribes and all that. This is a parallel world, and that mirror can be used as the door to get to that other side of that world if you know how to open the mirror.
Hold on, fam. Hold on for 1 second. So, shout out to Mr. Strong Muscle. Your question wasn't ignored. I just didn't really see it. Can you ask the question again? And we'll get the brothers to go ahead and answer your question. I apologize for that. Go ahead, Young L.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to say that mirror where you don't be going fucking around with no mirrors if you ain't got no high level alchemist with you guys to do the mirror because your ass get trapped and they'll steal your body. And the motherfuckers that's inside of that hallway, they'll steal your body. And your ass will be trapped in there. They'll switch position. They'll switch spots with you. Like I said, like when you go fuck with that mirror, you go through that door. But it's a hallway where disembodied souls is trapped in that motherfucker. And certain type of beings, they call it dream demons. They control that world and that door. And you go up in there fucking around, you scared, you got fear on you because you can't have no fear on you when you go with those mirrors. You can't be scared of nothing. Like Bess, you can't be scared of nothing when you go fucking with the mirror. You can't have no fear on you. Then you go up in the mirror, and if you go some fear on you, they'll scare you and trap you in there, and then come back, these beings will steal your body. You'll be like a motherfucker gonna mess with the mirrors, and then after 2 days later, you'll see them and they'll be like a whole different person. They'll look the same, but they'll be a different nigga because somebody didn't fuck with the mirrors and got trapped in there. And one of them beings, one of them dream ram beings, took their body.
Okay. Hey Rod, I didn't mean to cut across you. I just want to make sure that this question gets out there because they cutting up in the chat. It says Rod was saying nuclear war won't happen, but they are saying in the news they found Russian subs near Alaska, and I heard nukes can destroy the ethereal body. Now that's technically a statement, not a question. But you want to expound on that, Rod?
Look, all that's some boogeyman shit to scare y'all. Get scared if you want to, but just like what Young God was just saying about the mirror work. Y'all can't be walking around in fear because that's what they feeding off of. Right. Soon as the fear gone, the possibility of the outcome change.
Y'all heard that? And you know what? Just to add a little bit to that, you're right, because that's like a bully. You understand? Like a bully feeds off fear. Once when you no longer fear him and then you hit his ass back just as hard as he hit you, he no longer fucks with you no more.
Yep.
So I agree with that.
Yeah. All that shit just some scare tactics. And the Koreans shooting the missile over Japan. Look, America would have immediately, Japan is a protectorate of America based off the Treaty of World War II resolution to keep them from having a standing military. America is sworn to protect them. If a missile would have flew over fucking Japan without them knowing about it, it would have started World War VII.
Damn.
That was all scripted.
Damn. Well, we get ready to get out of here, family, because I know y'all got stuff to do. I appreciate y'all. Hey, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and share this video. Man, this was a great live. Everybody happy and elated in the chat that we was able to come together. It was like they needed this. Shout out to the brother Rod Hayes, brother Love, and Young L. Join them Nuwapic classes. My Facebook name is Naya Al-Makti. I put it in the chat. Also, you can go to my YouTube channel where I'm gonna put out about 100 more. My TikTok. I'm gonna put out about 100 more videos by tomorrow. I already got 75 done. I got 25 more to go. That's Learning Nuwapic with Messiah. You can also look on my YouTube channel, and on my YouTube channel I have the Nuwapic PowerPoint. And then I'm about to put out a series called Nuwapic for the Streets using the brother Young Elder's method, which I already got that. I got my computer back up and running. So y'all be on the lookout for that. Young L about to do a few shows, so y'all might want to tune in. All right, family. Wadu.
Wadu.
Wadu.